good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of NDV Media's Trekking Across the Universe. And it is Sunday night in America, dare I say. I want to first thank Robert Summers Potterton III for composing and performing our opening theme. We've returned to it. If you didn't know, now you know. And yes, I swear, I am out of uniform in every which way. I've got Harry Potter, I've got Star Trek, and there's stuff all over the place, so I apologize. I guess it was just like the episode, all over the place. But that's neither here nor there. My heart is still beating, and speaking of such, I want to welcome my wonderful co-host this evening, of course, Lord Michael, who's right there. Good evening, Lord Michael. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just
Excellent.
finished the episode a few minutes ago. Woo.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to get to that right now very quickly. And now we have a now coronated himself, Lord Jesse. Good evening, Lord Jesse. How are you?
Good evening. That was my British accent. I don't know. It's like, sounds like a Lord, kind of, not really. I actually coronated myself at the end of last episode, but you didn't notice.
I noticed it, yeah, but
Thank you.
Roger was too into all the drama.
Oh, there was a lot of drama, but it is absolutely wonderful. Wow. We're going to get into it right now. Since we're probably short on time for some of our guests, we're just going to do what we do best. We're going to be all over it, but you have to know, spoilers, we're talking about the episode. It just happened. You've been warned. Get the hell out of here if you didn't watch the episode. Other than that, we're going to get to it. As you know, I usually follow the narrative and then we talk scene by scene, but no, we're just going to talk about everything that just happened. Ines, good evening, Ines. Do you wish to join us? Just let me know. What is the wind picking up? That was strange. Wind beneath my wings? I don't know. But that's neither here nor
Dragon's coming.
there. Yeah, me no like that. But you never know. But all kidding aside, I don't know the name of the episode because when I'm watching the episode, it doesn't give it to me in the way that it used to. So I know someone does have the name of the episode, but this is episode 9. I'm sorry?
Green something.
Green
Council?
something. Okay. All right. Well, I know someone will have it in the first one, but we're going to get to it. Wow. So, Michael, your thoughts about today's episode, and we're just going to go from there. Let's do the round robin. So, Jesse, you'll be next, and it's an open forum. So, just come on in. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Ines says I'm still teleworking. I'm off at 11. I can hear you. Oh, that's right, Ines. You did allude to that. So, you let me know if and when you do want to join us. So, off at 11, that would probably be in a few minutes. So, all right, let's get to it. We'll appreciate your comments. In the meantime, I hope you've seen the episode, Ines. I'm not going to hold you to teleworking and watching the episode. Michael, go.
Well, I mean, it started off just kind of more backstory, but I mean, I did not expect the ending of the episode like it was. I mean, I just don't know what to say about that. It was like breaking through the floor, boom, there's our little friend, and I really thought the fire was coming out. I really did. I mean, but it didn't, and that was an interesting little. When I saw the dragon come, I go, "Ooh, she's gonna wipe everybody out," and she didn't. So that was something for me. That
Jesse,
I really
jump
thought
in.
it was going to happen.
Yeah, jump in at any moment. Remember, it's round robin right now.
Yeah.
I probably implied it was going to be a method. No, let's just get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. Okay, first off, I want to know one thing here. I remember, like, when he was dying, he said something about Aegon's dream. Did he actually say that he wanted Aegon to take over? He didn't, did he? She's lying. Because she doesn't want to get killed.
She misinterpreted.
Yes.
Because it seemed like she thinks that he actually said it. That she looked like she thought that that's actually what happened.
Well, he thought he was talking to his daughter, not his wife.
Right.
That was the thing.
I missed
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah, you're okay. That's the thing. We all catch something. He thought he was talking to his daughter. He was entering, I guess, that final last thing where some people don't know where they are right before they're going to go, and they mistake people. So I believe that's exactly what was going on there. He was talking about the prophecy to his daughter, and she misunderstood it. That's why she just got up and...
Yeah, I don't think he finished the story to his daughter. And so he just thought his daughter came back, and he just continued on. But it was his wife, not his daughter, so she didn't know what he was talking about.
That's right.
I see.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. And then the council like has been plotting like getting rid of Rhaenyra like for months, waiting for this king to die so that they could just like plot against and get Aegon to be king, and everybody else goes. And how quickly Otto was like tells the Lord Commander to go over to Dragonstone and take out the family with all the gold cloaks. He retires himself. He's like, I only answer to the king. That was awesome.
Yes.
And how about Kristen Cole? I don't know if there's like been a character that I'd like started out by liking and then ended up hating more than anybody else so quickly. Oh, you're House of Cole. Oh, you're Team Cole, are you? I hate.
Oh my goodness! That's accidental. Oh no! Oh, that is funny. Oh, Kristen Cole. Oh my God, that's actually accidental. The Yankee pitcher tonight was Garrett Cole. Oh, very good.
See, I thought you were talking about the character there, so I didn't know you'd watched your baseball today. Mm-hmm.
That was accidental. And you know what? Ines liked that one. Oh no, that genuinely accidental. I still don't even know if the Yankees won or not because I'm watching.
Is it just me, or is Kristen Cole doing a backwards time jump every episode? It seems like he just keeps getting younger and younger. It looks like Aemon is older than he is.
There was a comment on the internet about that, and even before the episode, that it looks like Game of Thrones has gotten that wrong. As he progressed, he did look older in certain episodes, but then all of a sudden, he looks like he did whatever it was 16 years ago.
Teenager.
Yeah.
And Aemon's all old and with missing an eye, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it looks like everyone is aged except for Sir Kristen. So who knows? Maybe Alicent is some sort of witch and has been giving him something to keep him young. I don't know.
They gotta figure something out for the next season. Like, we gotta go reshoot some shit.
You know, I did appreciate the way they set the mood. That the moment the king passed, it was the king is dead, all is dark, empty. But Alicent found out, and she was the first one that said, okay, tell no one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, she told Father Hightower. And then she asked the servants who knew. And he's like one or two only. And it was something where it's okay, be quiet about it. And then I think he said, who is it? Some servants know, no one else. And he told me he wanted Aegon to be king. She was telling that to Hightower. Now, the way I saw it, gentlemen, is in the conference, which follows right thereafter, which they even meet before dawn, where one of the guys says, has dawn invaded? So much so that we can't wait till morning. I thought that was really funny. As you said, Jesse, we learned that the council's been thinking about this for a while. Or not thinking, planning. They were ready to go.
Yeah.
Alicent, on the other hand, she is still actually caught up with what happened the night before.
Yeah.
She is still going by, hey, look, wait a minute. This is what we're going to do. And she realizes that Dad, Hightower, wants to take Rhaenyra out.
Oh yeah, we said it episodes ago. He's like, as soon as the king dies, she's gonna come after you and kill you and your children. She has to. She has no choice because you're a threat to the throne. So now he's doing it before she can do it, and they've got dragons, so he's got to act quick. And that just foreshadowed today at the end of the episode, like what they can actually do with one dragon.
Disrupt a few things.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. You're right. I think Lord Barris refers to her later in the episodes. There's a web of spies which her father has set up, and nothing has changed. He's controlling everything.
That guy's a freak.
Well, he is Lord Hightower, man.
That's Jesus. They really went for the Game of Thrones-y dark stuff, and the children, the pit of fighting children.
God. That was something. Lord Dick, good evening. Hey, before I get to you, Lord Dick, I asked Michael for his opinion of the episode. Jesse, we kind of got it, but your general thoughts of the episode, just like wow or awesome.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good like setup episode. It seems like they're setting something up in this. This is the kind of episode you'd expect before a finale. I love that we got a big kind of shocker at the end. I wasn't expecting it. I thought something might happen, but I thought that the last episode would have the big finale. So I was pretty ecstatic to get something like that in this episode because I thought it was going to be mainly setting stuff up, but it was good. A+.
Oh yes, I gave it an A+ too. There.
Nice.
I gave it an A+. Richard, your thoughts, and then we're going to get back into the round robin. What'd you think, buddy? I know you've seen it now.
I don't like that Dallas is coming back against the Eagles. This is getting ridiculous. Well, anyway, the thing is that I did watch these things, but I was watching a football game at the same time. So I take it we're talking about the House of Dragons.
We are definitely talking about the House of Dragons.
Now I know that Lord Jesse mentioned the fighting kids. So now we go to the foot fetish. And
Lord Barris. I think I made a joke in my. Actually, this is the first time I had 5 pages of notes, folks, and my 5th one was halfway through. There was a lot going on, in my opinion. I'll give you my comments on the episode right now. I kind of started, but it was on page 4 where Lord Barris says, "I found something you should know. Your father found Aegon first." So that's where she realizes, oh man, my dad was going to do some really dirty stuff. And they have that conversation later about that. And Barris then says there's a web of spies in the Red Keep that your father has left in place. One of the little spiders, Ines, thank you, is your lady in waiting. And then the stuff was happening so fast, it was very difficult to keep notes. So this is what I'm asking you guys. He says there are little spiders, and one of them is your lady in waiting. It continued a little bit more, but then he implies about if you wish it, it will be done. Now, it was interesting how I thought it was a little odd how when she started talking to him, she removed her shoes and she put them up. I didn't get that at first, okay? And then she removed, I guess what? She was like goading him on for more information? Or hoping that
that's like they've done it before. She knows what she has to do, right?
Yeah.
She knows what he wants. Probably start off by like, can I just see like a pinky toe? Just one toe. And it's
my goodness. Yes. And then when she kind of turned around but kept her shoes off, homie Claus went to town, at which point even I think my notes was Barris has a foot-ish. And I was like, idiot fetish.
Yeah.
That was and she was okay with it.
Well, I don't know. She was okay with it after she got in the bed and the way that she looked with her closing her eyes and the way she looked. I don't think she was exactly happy with it. But if it got what she wanted, I guess she sacrificed her feet. So sometimes when I watch this, I notice that they have this description that they'll tell a description to what's going on. So the description was Lord Barris was moving his hands down his pants up and down. So I got the impression that he was supposed to be masturbating.
Yes.
To that.
Yeah.
But when you look at her, she turns her head, closes her eyes, and she's not smiling. She's just I think she feels being used or whatever.
Oh yeah. But she's using him. But you still don't like it.
Well, yeah, but still. I know what you're saying there, Raj, but it's HBO Max, so you can do what you want. I mean, and anyway, do you have a dog over there, Raj?
Sorry.
Did you see Hope's comment?
Right. Yes, wow. I did see the spider, Hope. So I'm going to go back to it right now. Thank you, Hope, for joining us. Did anyone notice the spider that
I didn't notice that, but that's really,
she was sewing and it lifted up a little bit, and I did see the spider, and Hope, was it a Black Widow? That's the impression I got. I said, what the hell is she sewing, man? So I did see that, yes. It seems that the girl has a gift of sight, as she foresaw that her brother would lose an eye as well. Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's something there with that spider she was sewing. Yes, no doubt. Ines, of course, calls Barris Mr. Foot Freak, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot more. Look, folks, I rated this episode on A+. I probably wouldn't call it a setup because it moved fast. But I get it, Jesse. And I'm not arguing. It's that, yeah, this was really a good episode. And it doesn't matter what we call it. You and I are in agreement. Lord Dick, what do you think? It was a Black Widow, Hope. Yes, thank you. What are your feelings on the episode? Was it a good episode? What was your rating?
It was a good episode. I mean, we saw a lot of things on this, and so I give it. I'm going to say an A, but I guess I'll go A+ too. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's close enough. I mean, I think Lord Jesse said it. You know, they're setting up for the finale for next week.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if they can beat this episode with the finale. Wow, I mean, waiting for next season is going to be hard to do.
Michael, what was your rating on the episode? And it's interesting, folks, because, and forgive me, Michael, episode 9 in the last maybe 4 or 5 years of Game of Thrones was usually a massive battle or a major turning point. And in this way, episode 9 delivered, but there wasn't a battle, or was there? There was a battle in the Red Keep. Yeah. It may not have been the sword type battle that we expected, but it was a major battle. And I wonder who won this one. But Michael, what were your thoughts about the episode? And thank you for that, Hope.
In between an A and an A+. I mean,
the former educator? What the hell is that?
Well,
A and A+, what is that?
Yeah, when the parents call, you know, that's an A+, but you know.
Oh, okay. That was funny. All right.
But I mean, it was in between for me because I really want to hope that it's a real A+ next week. So, you know, I'm reluctant to give it an A+ today, but it's up there. It's up there.
Wow, we got 2 A+ and 2 A's. Once again, we're on the same page, gentlemen. Last week, we were all between an A+ and an A-. HBO is doing some good stuff. Now, Lord Jesse, I know we're going to be short on time. So with you, so let's talk about the things you want to talk about right now so we can make sure we hit on them.
One thing I want to say about it being like a setup episode, what I knew was going to happen was after the king died, they had to spend some time picking sides. They had to show whose alliances lied where. The families had to split up. They had to show who's on Rhaenyra's team, who's on the Queen's team. And I thought that was going to take up the majority of the episode, but they actually handled that pretty quickly. I was thrown off that when they went to go look for Aegon, it seemed like Aemon wanted to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that's what he pulled the swords on the, like, what the? But then they ended up not doing anything. That kind of like, I was like, what was that? Why did he pull swords on the guys that were like gold cloaks as well? Right?
Okay, as I understand, Alicent said, you have to get them to me. You have to get Aegon to me because she already knows what her dad is doing. She has no idea what her father's doing because I think later on in the episode, Hightower tells his daughter something to the effect of, says, okay, all right, you know, I get it. You know, well played. You know, you got me on this one. And he says, okay, I don't find my notes right now, but let's see. He says, I guess we're going to play it your way. You know, I would not play it this way. And that's where Alicent says, look, we're going to make a deal with her. We're going to offer her terms a way to get out. And if she doesn't, well, you know, we'll see what happens. So
okay, I see. So she wanted to get Aemon before her dad got her so she could make the decisions of what was going to go on.
Yes, that's the way I did get that. And I just wish I could go over to my notes on that right now. Oh, Allison meets dad. Well played, he says. Whatever our differences, our hearts are the same. And then she says, reluctance to murder is not a weakness. That's what she tells dad. Because he says, hey, look, the king, to have stability in the realm, a few people die. So, be prepared for that. And she says, hey, look, I'm prepared for it, but I don't want it to go that way. And she says, my husband would have desired this. And I think she says, mercy for his daughter. So at times, shortly thereafter, Hightower, I guess, dismisses Allison a little bit by saying, at times in the certain light, you remind me of your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little.
But the way he said it too.
Yes.
I was like, and it is Game of Thrones world, like stuff like that happen. I'm like, does this guy like got a thing for his daughter?
See, this episode has it all.
Yeah. Hope says Allison sent him to get Aegon first so she could teach him not to pursue killing his sister. If the hand got to him first, that would be the first order he would have executed. Yes. Yes.
Well, listen, I still think that kid is going to execute some crazy orders. In fact, I wouldn't put it beyond him that he's going to have his mom killed. I'm calling it right now because he's going to be more of a tyrant than Joffrey. They even foreshadowed it. He's hanging out in pits where kids that are 9 years old are killing each other with their bare hands. And even those guys were like, you haven't seen the half of it. It's way worse than you think. And he's got bastard kids that are in the pit that were like going to fight. And they were like 6 years old.
Yeah, that was brutal.
He's like looking at everybody, making them like bow to him. And he like got hyped up from the crowd. He's holding the sword out. This guy's going to go on a rampage. He's going to get he's just going to go murdering people for fun because he's crazy. That's what he does for fun. He knocks up girls and goes see kids fights, causes destruction. He's going to be a child tyrant. He's not going to last another season. If he doesn't die in the next episode, he'll die in the next season for sure. That guy. Done.
He didn't want this. He was bitching about it all throughout the whole thing, and he's hidden in a corner. When he's in the chariot, he's like this.
Yeah.
And when he came to walk through, he did stand up a little bit, and we saw the swords rise, and he gets up there. He is standing up. And then he just, for the hell of it, does that cheer thing, and the crowd loses its mind. He's like, hey, screw it, we're going to do it again. And they got louder. And again. Yeah. Yes, Jesse.
I think he's like super into it now. He's like, yeah. He's like,
power.
Feeling the power and what it's like. He's like, what? Everybody has to, I don't have to listen to anyone anymore. Everyone has to do whatever the fuck I want. Like, yeah, this guy's going to be. Now, I think it's going to be the next, like, he's going to make the Mad King look sane.
Was the cheering of the sword before or after when he turned around to look at the family and I think Christian bowed, or Sir Kristen, and then his mom tentatively, and then the sister ever so, like, just barely bowed, says, I know you. And
Aemon just does this.
Yeah. And then he turns to the grandfather and does the long extended bow. Was that before or after the cheer?
That was before the cheering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, he felt it. He was like, okay, what's going to happen? Mom beat me in the last episode, remember, where he was out whoring around or doing whatever, and Mom got on him, and now all of a sudden I'm king. Do you bow? And she did.
Yeah, wow. Now he can do whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't even have to go and leave the Red Keep to do any of that stuff anymore. He can have like little kid fight tournaments in the castle now if he wants.
That's the problem when you have little.
I can just turn like the Red Keep into Flea Bottom now.
That was good. I like that one, Ines. Joffrey much? Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be way worse. He's gonna be.
I remember in Game of Thrones where he did something, and what's her face slapped him hard right there in front of the throne, and he loses his shit. And it's like Mom slapped him. He says, "You will never touch me again." You will never lay a hand on the king again. Wow. I remember that. That was Joffrey. So that's crazy. He's good. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I actually thought it was Rainey's. I thought it was Rhaenyra that was locked in the room. I didn't see it, but it was Rainey's that was locked away. And she got treated badly. And I'm glad that she didn't have to say who she stood with. Allison actually let her off the hook by not making her swear fealty. Whereas we saw in the council, I think it was Breezeberry, he says, this is theft. This is treason. Yeah. I've known, King Viserys longer than any of you.
And then Kristen
Dumb
Cole.
bastards.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the King's Guard immediately said, put your sword down. Actually disarm yourself. But since there was no king, he walked away. He got slapped by his uncle. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Ines. I think that was Joffrey. Actually, I think he got slapped by his uncle and his
mom definitely slapped him. I don't know if he stood up.
So he got slapped around a little bit. Not that we're in any of that, but we do remember that.
There was something else I was going to say.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
I know that when they were in that meeting at first, Allison shows that she's concerned for Rhaenyra. She showed it. That was really surprising. And they said, well, look, a living challenger creates a problem. Time is of the essence. The episode moved fast. There was a lot of back and forth. Usually I commented that the difference between the scenes and the locations, it was very difficult. It's just, I had tiny little line breaks for just a few phrases. There was a lot going on. And I did appreciate, my heart was pounding. Did you guys get that same sensation in the episode?
Yeah.
It was good. It was stressful. It was very well done.
Why do you think Rainey's let them live? She could have ended it.
One mother to another. Allison
didn't want to kill Rhaenyra, so she gave her the respect of not killing her right now because she didn't want to kill Rhaenyra. And she's like, okay, well, I'll let you live right now, but here's what we can do with her dragons.
I like that. I think also that she looked right at her, mother to mother, and she was prepared to take it. And I believe it was Rainey's not wanting to, I think it was to make her point, but it was one mother to another. She says, okay, I'm making my point. This is the side I stand on. Be ready. She could have decapitated all of them.
Yeah. Well, I think also there's a little bit of like toying with them, being like, there's nowhere that you can go that you're safe. I literally just went through your floor just by myself with a dragon, made your entire army run away and all the people flee by myself and could have killed you right now, but I didn't. Like, that's a major threat. That's scary as hell. Because they only have one dragon rider? Just Aemon, right? That's it. So far. Because everybody else is a Targaryen on the other side.
Oh,
that's the only kid that has a dragon. Aemon's the only kid that has, of the series' children, that has a dragon. Did any of them else have a dragon that we saw?
Well, it was Rainey's. That was the only one that was so there were two of them there, and then she got it and took off.
Yeah, and the other one is Aemon's, which is, I forget the name of that dragon, but it's the big. They keep saying it's the biggest one in the world. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a bigger dragon show up because they keep saying that one's, it's the biggest dragon in the world. This is the biggest in the world. And then in the preview for next week, it showed Daemon going to some cave, and there's a dragon that's not his, and he's got like a torch in his hand, and he's like walking up to it. It comes out with his jaws, and it looked massive.
I wonder if that was one of the eggs in that other episode at the very beginning that he mentioned.
Which was a while ago in time.
Yeah, it might have been 2 or 3 episodes ago.
It takes a long time for them to grow, but then again, like, I mean, it only took 8 years for them to get huge in the original Game of Thrones series, right? Because they did 0 time jumps.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows how long it's going to take? This is good.
Are you excited for some dragon fighting?
Yeah, well, if we see the kids fighting, first we saw the family fighting, then we see the bastards fighting. What's next? these little kids. I mean, damn, there's a lot of kids fighting in this one.
Yeah.
It was brutal to see how people were really supporting Rhaenyra, and they were all being imprisoned. They were all either being killed or imprisoned, and that was Hightower's doing. It wasn't Alicent's. So it remains to be seen what is going to happen. Wow. I don't know. So you think Alicent's not going to make it? She's not long for this world, huh?
I don't think so. Well, you never know. Characters in this series they're tricky because they tend to change drastically over the course of a season or two. Like you look at last season, the original series, and you look at Jaime Lannister's character from the first episode to last episode, and he does almost a whole 360 all the way back around. It's wild.
There was right after Barris has his moment where he's enjoying the queen, we switch to some quick cuts. Aegon is having a meal. Hightower, you see him, obviously he's plotting. Aemon is sitting there pensively waiting. This is the night before the coronation, I believe. And then you see Alicent also plotting. And then Rhaenys, sorry, I said Rhaenyra, she's waiting for the mooring. And then Eric, one of the brothers that went looking, it was Eric and Arik, right? It's
Are those the two twin guys?
Those are the two brothers that were sent by Alicent, yes.
That was hilarious. Their names are the same and they are twins.
Yeah, it's Eric and Arik, I believe.
Okay.
And Eric is the one that kind of went away. Arik is the one that fought Kristen and lost. So I don't know what the building was that was burning. I missed that. Do you guys know which building was burning?
No.
Because when they exit, she says, "Where are we?" And then Eric says, "Just south of Blackwater." And then there's a house burning, and he says, "You must make for the river, not your dragon." Well, I think they're trying to get away. That's when the crowd is being forced in, and Aegon is en route to his coronation. I commented it looked like he changed his mind, or he was threatened. I don't know. And she tells him, "You must not rule with cruelty." She says something else. I forget what was there, but she was telling him, "You must be a just king, a peaceful king." But oh well.
How did she get to her dragon? Oh, because everybody was in that room coronating the king.
Yeah, they got forced in.
Yeah.
And she makes her way off. She was able to basically just walk down there. Oh, Ines says, "I think they were faking her death." Okay. All right.
Faking whose death?
Rhaenys, the queen who never was.
Oh.
Because that's where she was staying, so I guess a fire was set to cover. All right, that's interesting. I like that. Okay.
Man, there's so much to catch in these episodes. It's crazy. The writing is just crazy.
Yeah.
Something, then they'll bring it up a season later, and you're like, what?
There is, folks. There was a lot that was in there. I felt bad for the people that were standing up for Rhaenyra, and they were just being mowed down. I think 2 people stood up in the main hall. One said, "Hey, look, we don't break oaths." And then they were arrested and taken out. And there was a third one that immediately put his knee down, or he went down to a knee. I was like, okay.
And tried to escape.
There's always those guys.
Oh, it was the same one that put his knee down and later tried to escape? That was
the same one. Yeah, it was the same one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Here we go. We got some more. Lord Larys put it to the torch. It is his signature at this point. I'm pretty certain it was the prisoners, not the place where Rhaenys was previously. Oh, okay.
You got to get Hope on here. She knows what's up.
Same thing with Ines, man. They know what's going on. But who was walking after them in the black cloak after the fire? Yes, I didn't know who that was. I thought they were going to catch them.
I didn't see that.
Yes, and Talia the handmaiden was in there and some slaves. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, because Talia's the same one, right? That was trying to make the deal with Hightower. Says, okay, look, I'll give you, I've got him. Just remember, I could have killed him. I could have done away with it. Is that Talia? Is that the same one? That means she's dead? Because Inez says I couldn't see who it was. I didn't either. Do any of you know who that person was following them? Okay.
Oh, what's up with the white worm? Maybe they took all of them immediately and locked them in the beginning to keep the wood from spreading.
Yeah. So all of them were burned? That sucks, man. That just sucks. It really happens. The minute there's a change in something, they lose their jobs or they die. That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
But the white worm, tell me what.
It seems like they're making her like super important. She's pretty much like a mob boss or something like that. Of like.
That's who I'm asking. Is that Talia, the white worm? Is that one the same?
No, is it? No.
Okay.
She's the former. I forget her name. The character's name. She's like Daemon's former whore, and now she's like a
that one.
master or something.
Is that the same one, Hope? Or no, Talia was a handmaiden. I'm sorry. Okay. Got it. Oh, okay. Here's a comment from Lord Dick. Thank you, sir. Did you want to read it to us? Because you took the time to type it out there.
I got
type. Type my ass.
Oh, copy and paste it. Oh, you the bad. All right. Okay, tell me about it.
Well, okay. What did this say? About the dragon. It says it is perhaps the respect of Raimi has for the Alicent that stays her hand in the moment. However, the War of Melees makes it clear that Ramis is not an ally of the House of Hightower. In the books, she is firmly on Raimi's side and will bring her dragon to the fight. So who is Raimi's dragon?
Okay. Well, she has one, so I don't know the name.
Well, like I said, I copy and pasted that from something from the Decider just to see if I can clear that up. But so I don't know why. I mean, since it referenced the books, I thought it might. But then again, you never know if they're going to follow the books. I mean,
yeah.
That is always. I mean, if they followed the book, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But if you can read the book, then you'll see everything coming.
Yeah, thank you, Hope. Melees is her dragon's name. And Hope clarified. So no, Jesse, you and I are not talking about the same one. Talia is a handmaiden to the queen. Okay. Yeah. And then she says that's the one that was in the room that was burning. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, when you get locked away, you're not going to live, man. That sucks. It's like, it's a bummer. So, folks, there was a lot of stuff that happened tonight. It speaks for itself. I think we covered quite a bit of the subtleties, but let me know some other stuff that you have. Oh, more comments. Hope now. Oh, there we go. I think the white worm is the Lord Varys of House of the Dragon. She is for the people. Okay, so yes.
I see that. Yeah.
I was calling her Talia. You have the white worm. Okay, so, all right.
What was her original name, though? Does anybody know?
I have the cheat sheet. Yeah, that's the one that was with Damon in the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see right now. I know the girls in the chat room, they have it, so I'm waiting for them to just beat me to the punch. So I know there was Lady Miseri.
Oh, got it.
Oh, beat you.
Oh, no. Myceria. Okay, well, no, hold on. One of these, a former slave from the East named Myceria. Yeah, Myceria. Is that what they put? Yes, Hope. Thank you. See, I went and got this one, but I still have to read it more and more. So, okay, I kept calling it Talia. So it's Myceria, which is the white worm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is the white worm. That's a cool name. The white.
Oh, hell yeah. So, you were asking a question on that, Lord Jesse.
What was I asking?
Or a statement on the white worm.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what's up? Because it just seems like she's being made very, very important. And now, like, Otto's the hand of the king, and he's got to, like, go and basically, like, beg her to find out where the king is, right? Instead of, like, taking her by force, being like, yo, you have an idea where Aegon is? I'm the hand of the king. Where is he? Give him to us right now. He's got to barter with her, right? So, like, how important is she? How much power does she have?
Yeah.
But they said that he uses the spies that are in Flea Bottom to his own good as well. So obviously this probably isn't the first time that he sat down with the white worm.
Oh yeah, and he paid a significant price, and she still made a deal at the very end. I think she said something to the effect of, you remember who returned him, and you remember that I was judicious with him. So
why was he under the table or under the altar or wherever what was he?
I think he was just drunk.
And he was just hanging out underneath there?
Yeah. It was funny. He was just drunk. Let's see. Yeah. I want an end to the child fighting, she says. I could have killed him. And you need to remember that it is the people who allow you the power to take. Remember that. She was warning them, and Hightower, of course, says, I will remember. And then in my notes was, yeah, Aegon, he's drunk. He was just under the table. I think they just kept him there. He was drunk. He wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they knew where he was. Yeah, could you imagine if she kept him bound or chained or something? I think Hightower.
I thought that's what it was going to be. That's why I was confused when he was just like under the table. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, I think she just knew where he was. So.
He might have been there before.
Yeah, she's a capo. There's no doubt about it. She's a player, man. She's got power, and she reminds them, hey, you guys are in power because we've deigned you to have that power. So I don't know what else is going to happen moving forward. Next episode, what do you guys think? Other than the preview. You saw the preview this time, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw the preview this time. All hell's going to break loose. I think we're going to see our first massive war between the two separated families.
There's a scene in the preview that they're shocked. They're shocked that they got usurped, and they looked worried. So I'm going to see if I can find the preview, and maybe we'll play it real quick.
Sure.
So if you guys, I need a few minutes though. So I'm going to see if I can find it. Please, no dead air, guys. Continue, please.
Oh, okay.
We're watching you, Roger, make faces. So
Stop it. Okay. Oh, wow. That was quick.
Oh, you got it already?
Yeah. But here we go. Forgive me, folks.
I was like racking my brain. I was looking at my notes like, what do I got?
And I appreciate that you guys are taking notes. It's really cool. Folks, here we go. Here's the preview. Check it and watch.
The Greens are coming for you, Rhaenyra. And for your children.
You cannot bend the knee to the Hightowers. They stole your birthright.
Every man standing round the painted table urges her to plunge the realm into war.
Lay siege to the Red Keep. Send us.
I swear to ward the Queen.
Your cause owns a power that has not been seen since the days of old Valyria.
It looks like two dragons against one to me.
Okay.
And
It looks
that one
good.
looks big. You're right, Jesse.
That dragon looks
That
huge.
Damon's, it looks huge.
Well, I know. Okay, so Damon's got his. It looks like he's getting a second one. Rhaenyra's got a dragon. Rhaenys has a dragon. That's 4 right there.
I believe her children have dragons, right? Because that was the whole thing.
Yeah,
that
'cause
they
they're making
all
fun of the
had
kids.
dragons
Yeah.
except for Aemon.
Yeah, Aemon and Aegon. He doesn't have a dragon, does he?
Ooh, Hope, Ines, does Aegon have a dragon?
I didn't think
there
that
was-
any of Viserys' kids, except for Aemon, had a dragon. But
Okay,
yeah.
clarify that first, because I'm just figuring they all have dragons.
Or
But
did
I
they
may be
just
wrong.
have dragon eggs?
Like maybe
that
eggs
maybe
or
did
like
not
little
hatch.
baby dragons.
Or
I
they
know
didn't
the
hatch.
strong boy's got a dragon.
Yeah, because remember, there was that scene where it's like they all had something of a dragon, and they sent him down. The pig came up because they were screwing with him.
Yeah, the pink dread.
Yeah, but then he eventually did get a dragon. Wow.
Yeah, the big one.
So, ladies, please, you guys are catching what we don't catch. I assumed, but you know what they say about assumed. I know. So, let's see what they say in the chat room.
Yeah, they're being quiet.
Well, there's always a tiny
Okay.
delay,
I guess.
or they're rolling their eyes like dumbasses. Aren't they paying attention? And they're like, you know what? Oh, here we go. Okay, he does. All right, and I'm assuming that's Aegon, that he does have one. Okay. Ines then continues, yes, he does, but they have not showed it, I believe. The dragon eggs hatch during different times, so his could still
Yeah.
be small.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Okay. I like what's coming. My only disappointment, gentlemen, is now this is the season finale coming up.
Yeah, now. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Really?
not making fun of you, Justin, anyway. I'm just genuinely, it's like, damn. Now it's like, this is really the season finale.
I can't wait. I do got to
Yeah.
take off, guys. I got to.
Yeah. Jesse, thank you. I know you were here with us and you're short on time, but thank you. I appreciate your insight, and I'm looking forward to it. And ladies and gentlemen, it becomes official tomorrow. Lord Jesse Arthur Carroll will be joining us as a guest tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time, a little earlier, and we're going to be having a good time. So
We are. Yeah, I'm looking
please
forward
join
to it.
us. His is the gold one, Sunfire. Okay. Yeah, they know.
That's
They
a
know,
cool
yeah.
name for Dragon Sunfire. Okay. So
Yeah, I'm just holding out because of all 4 programs we're watching. Jesse, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, young man. Looking forward to it. Ladies, gentlemen,
see you tomorrow,
everyone, join
ladies
us.
and gentlemen.
Yeah,
See you
join us tomorrow. All right. I don't why I didn't realize that. Yeah. Oh, Hope, you missed one? Oh, so you've joined us in missing stuff. Lord Dick, tell me.
Yeah.
What are some of your thoughts and themes of the episode? Things that happened. What surprised you? What disappointed you?
I think we've already covered all that for me with the
Okay.
with the fighting kids, the foot fetish, the dragon, not using the flame, but using the dragon breath. That probably was bad enough. So at the end there, but I was like you said. I mean, when that explosion happened and that dragon came in, it was like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. So that. There really was no disappointments in this episode. So and I now you've got me curious. I've got to find out what that burning house was or burning building was. I've got to find out.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Hope on that one. She's very sharp on catching those details. I think Hope.
Well, they
is
might
right.
not have said because they were just running. I don't know if they even said what they might have, but I missed it. So, like I said, I was doing 2 things at once. So I might have missed it. I saw the house on fire, but I still had an eye on the football game. So who knows?
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, well, fair enough. Michael, some of your other thoughts?
And I think we've covered everything that I was thinking about. So
It was good. I love the scene early on when they were around the table, watching how people who are loyal and they end up being on the wrong side. They believe in their bones in following the rule of law, and they're the first ones to get taken out. It's really sad. It's really funny. He and Breezebury went out badly. That was a shame. Kristen is
Okay.
he's a weapon. He's a loyal hammer of Alicent. He's dangerous, man. There's no doubt about it. And it was funny because it was Rhaenyra that chose him for that spot. She knew when the time would come he would be effective, but he's loyal to Alicent. So go figure. Oh well, yeah, because as we talked about earlier, it was Alicent that basically forgave him. She could easily have done away with him as per the law, and she said, like, nope. In the series, and forgive me, just for comparison purposes, in the Netflix series where Kevin Spacey, was a congressman and eventually becomes president, House of Cards, there's a similar situation. There's a cop that gets in trouble, and he ends up saving the cop's career at the last minute. And that cop was the most loyal. And I kind of saw it the same way. It's the only thing that I'm going to compare it to because I don't want to at this time. And Hope says, I don't know why I didn't realize it. Okay, yeah. So it's good. That's the image, right, for the last episode coming up?
Actually, this is the image that IMDb has for season 2, episode 1. Now, I don't know if they just use something as a placeholder, but I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Ah, yeah.
But what does that still? Well, we expect dragons.
I think it's just a placeholder, but you never know.
You never know.
No.
Yeah.
Never know.
Ladies, some of your thoughts in the chat room before we move on to some of the other programs that we're going to cover. Because as you know, folks, we do cover as well Star Wars Andor, and we cover Lower Decks, and we cover the Rings of Power. Now, the Rings of Power did air its last episode just 2 days ago, so I'm wondering if you... I'm wondering what we're going to do after that. We might switch nights, gentlemen, and we're obviously going to do Game of Thrones moving forward in this, but I don't know if we're going to have another episode after the 10th one on Sunday night, unless we pick up another series. I met someone at a bookstore on I think it was on Friday or Thursday, and I talked to the individual. I invited them. I didn't know if they were going to be here or not. I did invite them because they know quite a bit of Ring of Power, but who knows? They might show up in a little bit. Inez says, I think this was a phenomenal episode. I think there's no doubt. I rarely give an episode an A+. This did not have a huge, massive battle in the same way that men like to see, Star Wars laser battles or pitched battles on an open field. There was a different battle, and it was immense. This was a really good episode, and I was very happy. I'm expecting the next episode to be a bit of a letdown just because this one was so good. And it's going to be a cliffhanger. I mean, let's be real. It's a continuation. Basically, every episode's a cliffhanger. So, I don't know what some of your other thoughts are, gentlemen. I think Richard might be done. Michael, anything else you want to add to it?
No, that's it.
All right. Once again, I gave it an A+. Jesse gave it an A+. Michael, you gave it a what? An A to an A+?
Mm-hmm.
And Lord Dick, what did you say? Did you say an
Same
A?
as Michael. Lord Michael.
We got an A and an A+.
Well, first said an A+. I said an A, but then I went to an A+ just to fit in with you and Jesse. But still, I said A first. So I'm probably in the same house as Lord Michael because he's afraid that if he gives an A+, he can't give another one. He seems like he has like a limited amount of A+s he can give up.
Well, I was considered A+ as if you have to exceed beyond all expectations.
So
and I still have expectations for the season finale.
So Lord Michael, what we should do is ask you for your final grade at the next week when it's all over with, and you
Yeah.
can just say,
Mhm.
then you can go back and say, because you might. Did you give an A+ already or not?
No, I've
yet?
never given an A+ yet.
So you must, So I guess you will have, I mean, then you can say you thought, well, I guess I have to stick with my guns.
Or I can
Episode
say
9
that-
was A+.
Or the last episode was a B-. I mean, who knows? I mean,
Yeah, but I'm just saying that now you can look back and say, okay, this episode was my A+.
yeah.
And-
or I just say, nah, still A. They needed to do better.
Right. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. But I think the closest one to it so far is this episode, because this is the
Mhm.
first that you've ever said something about an A+, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is because you thought one of your someone
Others
changed their
A,
grades.
A-.
Change.
Mhm.
We can always change your grade in the computer. Just hack
folks,
into
That's
it.
true.
You
Just
can
hack
always
through it.
change your grade, because over time, and once the series is over, we may change it. Because remember, we're grading these episodes immediately, and later on we might reconsider these. So I'm gonna have to write down the grades and keep track of them that way. So all I know is that we had 2 A+ and 2 A's between A's and A+, which is really cool. Point is, the episode was damn good. I enjoyed it. Ines. Renee. Sorry, Ines. You thought it was, it was a phenomenal episode. Hope, I believe you did give me your comment about the episode, but let me, let's see. Let me know, please, because I noticed you went straight into the comments. Yeah, what was it? So beyond that, folks, I think we're done with the House of the Dragon for now. We will be on next week again, of course, to go over the final episode, and then we'll see what we'll do moving forward. But for now, we still will be on next week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we're going to go and continue. To my co-host, what do you guys want to do next? You guys want to do Star Trek Lower Decks? You guys want to do Star Wars Andor? Or do you guys want to do Lord of the Rings Rings of Power?
Anything besides Below Decks.
Okay. Michael,
Only because I haven't seen the latest episode yet.
Oh, all right.
That's
yes,
fine,
yes,
yeah.
thank you. I look forward to it. So, just come and join us in the episode. We'll send you the link. Yeah, we're going to have a lot to talk about on the season finale. No doubt about it. So next week, I get that. Thank you, Ines. All right, I look forward to it. I did appreciate the time you spent with us. It's a lot of good insight. And Hope, you join us as well. Remember, just because I don't say it, you have an open invite. Let us know that you want to join us. We're just having a good time talking about the episodes right now. But what were you saying, Michael, about the next, or what do you want to talk about next?
No, I thought it doesn't matter. I said, if he hasn't seen that, then let's wait till it's just you and I to do Lower Decks then.
Okay, he hasn't
Well,
seen Lower Decks.
Well, I'll probably stick around, but but
then it ruins it for you.
I don't care. Not that. I don't really care. But
yeah, I hear you, Ines, but it's still much appreciated that you visit with us. So what's it going to be? Rings of Power or The Eye? I'm sorry, Star Wars Andor.
I say, what show did I not see?
Yeah, The Eye is Star Wars Andor. So.
Oh, okay. Let's do Rings of Power.
Okay, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 8, Alloyed, and this was a season finale. Basically, the catch line for this episode was new alliances are forged, and we went straight into a teaser on this one, and we find that a stranger is sheltering, and is in the Greenwood. It's Rainey or Aaron Galen. Now, he still has an apple. We see the stranger has an apple. And you know who gave it to him. Of course, it was Nuri. So he remembers.
I thought it was Eve.
Oh, pretty good. I like that. The stranger and Eve. Ooh. So he remembers the words that you are good. So he's tricked by an image of Nuri, and the 3 walkers show up. And lo and behold, we have Lord Sauron. Wow. I got mad. I got really mad right at that moment I was like, oh, come on, man. So, what were your thoughts at that point, Lord Michael?
I mean, I was going, this can't be. Please, this can't be. And I was glad everything changed.
As a matter of fact, Lord Dick, you already knew about that when I spoke to you on Saturday, and you kept quiet about it. I remembered what you told me after the program of Sports Talk with the guys. I genuinely got mad. I got mad. Number one, that I was hoodwinked, and two, I was hoodwinked, and three, damn it, I was hoodwinked. I was mad that it turned out that
you believe the bald transgenders?
Yeah, I believed them at the time. So,
well,
they believed it too. I mean, it wasn't they were deceiving; they believed it.
Yeah, they did, and I can't lie to you. I believed it too. I thought that was the twist. I mean, everybody thought it was going to be Gandalf, and so him turning out to be Sauron was like, okay, that's. But then the twists keep coming.
Yeah, and then they go, "You're the other one."
Oh.
Ah!
Yes.
Like, yeah.
And then we switch to the scene where Halbrand and Galadriel are riding to where the king is, King Gil-galad in the I forget where this city is in the history, but that doesn't matter. Then we find Elrond and Celebrimbor that they must alert the king, of what is going on. And then Halbrand and Galadriel, they arrive. And they ask, how is it that you're here? Elrond apologizes to Galadriel. Says, I knew that my task was not yet completed. He says, I've missed you. Why did you do this? And she said, look, he was drowning. What am I going to do? Let him drown? It was time to swim. Like, okay. So all of a sudden we see Halbrand and Celebrimbor begin exchanging ideas on what could be done. Because I think at that point, Celebrimbor was saying, this metal's tough. There's not much we can do. And then they got together, these artists, and boom, ideas started flying. He refused to tell Halbrand what the material was. I think you guys got that. But he was saying, hey, it's, adding a little bit of nickel and silver in the correct amounts can increase the strength and lessen the weight. So he was surprised. He got him going in different ways. So then we switch to Numenor. The king is near death. And then they're taking a portrait of him. The best portrait minders in the realm are doing it. And then the king starts to speak. Know this. If the old ways of our people are not soon restored, we'll die. And then eventually, Erin finds that the king is awake, and she goes to the section where the Palantir is. And as she uncovers the Palantir, we don't see her remove it, but there's like a flash of light. So, forgive me, folks, I got to change that image right there. The trekking across the universe. There it is. So, all right. After that, they're talking to King Gil-galad about what this metal can do. And he's like, look, there's no way. We don't have time. He says, but we want to do it. We want to create a crown. Really? Yeah, for you. And then the king says, but the tree is bleeding. It's only a matter of time before it's gone. Our time has passed. Had you brought this up before, maybe, but it's done. And then they begin to talk about what they're doing. Celebrimbor says, we're on the cusp of unlocking a new power, not of strength, but of spirit, not of the flesh, but over flesh. And Gil-galad says, yeah, well, sorry, too late. We're going. We're going to disband the city. We got to go. And then, of course, Elrond requests 3 months. He said, there's no hope. He says, hope is never meager. So Celebrimbor begins his work. Galadriel needs info. And she starts asking questions about Halbrand. I know he's feeling better, but working with the Elven Smiths, I believe he tells Galadriel, you believed in me. I'll never forget that. And I'll make sure no one else does as well. Did you guys notice that he's flirting with her? And he's actually kind of hoping for something, but he draws away before he makes it clear.
Yeah, but that's supposed to eventually happen.
Yeah, that's right. I believe. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
After that, we go straight to Don't Be Afraid, Master. The three, whatever they are. One of them is the Dweller, the Nomad, and the Ascetic. They're there and they say, don't be afraid, Master. We've come here to welcome you to your lands, the lands of Rune, where you shall learn to command all of your powers. And you will be Lord Sauron. And then we find Nuri is there to try to free Sauron. Sadok ends up getting stabbed, but they take control of him using the very powers that they're going to teach him. Master, calm yourself. You cannot help her. You are evil. Don't be stupid, they're basically saying. Sauron warns Nuri, if you give me the staff, if you are here to help, I know you are here to help, but you can't give me that staff. And then when he does get it, he does send them away. From shadow you came, to shadow I bid you return. And then I guess they say, he is the other, before they get wasted. Was it? I thought that was kind of cool. And we find out that Sadok is still alive, but they determine that he's so wounded, and he says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be I'm not going to be on the trail anymore. Besides, the missus would be awaiting for me. So we switch to the Numenor fleet sailing home. Elendil and the Queen, Regent Muriel discuss life, where she says, my father once told me, I'm trusting in the end that it would be worth it, come what may. Then, of course, they say Numenor is within sight. And then we see an explosion, which I thought was at Numenor, but it turns out that it was in the Elven city. And they're talking about, man, this mithril material is proud. It will not give us its secrets, and it will not mate with the other materials. They say, but every step is a journey. Maybe we're using too much force. We need to coax the metals to join one another. And Celebrimbor's mind is just racing. He's thinking of ways on how to do it. It's like, this guy is pretty smart. I like it. And they eventually find out how to do it, but they say it might be too powerful. What are you thinking? 2 crowns? And they say, no, something smaller. And they say 3 rings for balance, right? And then Galadriel ambushes Halbrand and says, who are you? I found out 1,000 years ago the last king of the Southlands died and had no heir. And Halbrand says, I told you I was a dead man. And I've had many names. Damn it! Remember what Thomas told us, or Dream told us that night? I go by many names.
Yeah.
It was at that moment I'm like, holy crap. When he said, I told you I was a dead man. Michael, did you know who it was?
Kind of, but you know, I was saying, then this would make sense. So yeah.
I still was not certain. Lord Dick,
I wasn't certain, but you know, it's I was just glad it wasn't the stranger.
Oh, I still think he's Gandalf. But
I think he is too. Absolutely.
Lord Dick, did you know it at that moment when he says, I told you I was a dead man? I've had many names. When I heard I have had many names, I'm like, oh, no way. Nah, no. Even though I think I had read somewhere that someone said Halbrand is blankety blank. Did you know at that point what he was?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I heard it, but I didn't put it together.
Well, flashback to an earlier age, and she's with his brother, Finrod, again. And they're having a conversation, but it turns out that it is him talking to the brother. And she says, my brother is dead because of you. You are a friend of Morgoth. If I was to be forgiven, I had to heal the world, he says. He tells Galadriel, I am here to save the world. And our past was not of value. And then he kind of reaches out to her. He says, hey, look, you yourself said our past is of no value. Become my queen. She says, oh, yeah, and you, my king? He says, well, you bind me to the light, and I bind you to power. Like, oh, that was almost Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Palpatine, and Anakin type stuff. Come to me, and I will give you the powers of the universe. I was like, wow, I was seeing some crazy stuff right there. Together, we can save this Middle Earth. He talks about it as a thing. He doesn't talk about as Middle Earth as being a place of peoples. He says, without me, your people cannot be saved. And then she says, oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to, blah, 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 do this. He says, oh, yeah? What's going to happen when your people finds out that you saved Sauron? Huh? How are they going to believe you there? How are they going to trust you at that point? So that was pretty bad. And then I guess she's fallen in the water, and Elrond pulls her up from the river of the lake. And she was mumbling stuff. And she says, where's Halbrand? I think he's at the workshop where they're almost finished. And she runs to go. And it turns out that Halbrand never returned there.
Yeah.
So, and then they talk about how it's going to be with 3, there is balance. But they said, if we're going to make something of value, we need gold and silver from the best of places from Valinor. Like that blade of yours. So she has to give it up, which belonged to her brother, right? Yeah. So they say 1 is bad. 2, I think 2 creates havoc, but 3 brings balance. So that's what they say. And then I lost my... Oh, go ahead.
But what I liked about when they went to make that crown, suggested making that crown, that he told Galadriel that you shouldn't be here at all. Finally, saying someone puts her in her place. So that's what I liked about that.
Yeah, because you're right. They're talking about it, and she speaks up. It's like, what the hell are you doing here? Yeah, you shouldn't have been here.
But that's what I mean. For the first time, she kind of, Anyway, I liked it because maybe that'll give her some humility, but who knows? I doubt it. She's on.
Yeah, I doubt it as well.
She's on a rampage.
Then we immediately switch to the view where we're back with the stranger and Nori, and he talks about truth or something like that requires sacrifice, and he says, I am Ishtar, and in your tongue or your speak, it says means wise one or wizard. That's when I was like, all right. He's obviously, if he's an Ishtar, remember, I talked about in one of the other episodes, 5 Ishtar were sent to the world. One of them was Saruman. The other was, of course, Gandalf. The other one was Radagast. And there are 2 others that are rarely mentioned that were somewhere else. But they're basically angels. But the Ishtar are wizards. So I'm betting it's Gandalf. And then finally, the hobbits are talking about nobody goes off trail, nobody walks alone. But then Nori's leaving. She makes a decision that she has to go with the stranger. She says goodbye.
They have that mantra that they don't follow. It's like hypocrisy. Yeah, it was, I feel like, wait a minute, what you guys have season 1. I mean, episode 1 is like, you guys, what? So anyway, Continue, Roger.
It was really good how one of the ladies was reading the map saying, ooh, it looks like we're going downhill. Grass for our feet. It's going to be real easy. And then it was her sister, right? Nori's sister. She goes, you're reading it wrong. She goes, oh, we're going uphill. It's going to suck. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then she's saying goodbye. And he says, "Some father I've been, I haven't taught you a thing." And she mentions a whole lot of stuff that he did teach her, which was really cool. And then he says, I think the mom said, "Find where the river runs and where the sparrows find their songs. You be bold. Go on before you lose your nerve." That was cool. That was neat. And there it is. Always follow your nose. That's in the Hobbits. Don't they mention that in either in the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbits? Always follow your nose. I thought that was really kind of cool.
I thought that was Pinocchio.
Well, then that would be me. We have Galadriel gave her blade. Elrond drops it in with the mithril. And Celebrimbor does his stuff. They work on the rings. Then Elrond found a message in a canister. What was that message? He reads it. Was it from Sauron? But the rings are ready. And then Halbrand is on the steps of Mordor. And that was the episode. And that's where we ended the season right there. Wow. So, Lord Michael, what were your thoughts on this episode?
No dragons.
That's right. None whatsoever. So what do you think?
Oh, it was good. I mean, as I said before and other times, it's Lord of the Rings. I just don't know a lot of the backstory, so I get very confused very easily with characters and everything else. But it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. So
I'm having a hard time following because we're following 4 stories right now.
Well, yeah,
and I don't mean Rings of Power. I mean Andor, Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, and Lower Decks.
Yeah.
So it's
I totally agree.
I'm trying to get their names, but yeah, I enjoyed the episode. There was a lot to cover. They did. I don't think it was a letdown. I don't think this was a superb episode, but I did rate it an A because there was a lot of turns, a lot of twists. I was genuinely angry, and then I was angry because I was angry. So I was happy at the end when he said he was Ishtar. That was good. I did like that. Lord Dick, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, I think you're right because Gandalf is supposed to be the Wizard of... I can't remember. I read it, but...
The Wizard of the Hobbits, yes.
Well, he's the Wizard of, knowledge and stuff. So, and the other one is a crafty wizard because he wants to look at... I think it's Summerall that wants to do the science. And I can't remember what the third one is. Oh, what he's supposed to be for. I mean, there's these names mean something in Old English and blah blah blah. But anyway,
Radagast is the naturalist.
Yeah, that's right.
In the Hobbit, yeah.
Yeah.
He cares for the natural form of things, and Saruman, he's the
So that leaves process of elimination.
Yeah.
And as far as you say, there's 5, but the two blue wizards are unknown.
Yes, thank you.
They are unknown. And this episode, if it wasn't called, did a Lord of the Rings tie-in, I'd probably give it maybe a B. But since it's a Lord of the Rings tie-in, I give it a D. So.
Oh, wow.
Well,
okay.
I mean, the dialogue, I mean, it's getting interesting. And I got bored with Nori saying goodbye to everybody. It's like, let's get the show on the road. Didn't expect her to come back. It's like, oh my, yeah, you're going to go bye-bye. Oh, wow. And the strangers up there are standing there going, come on, let's go. But they still spent so much time. I guess they're trying to do some drama thing, but for me, it failed because it's like, say goodbye to a couple of people and let's move on. I mean, but it seemed like it took forever for her to actually get out of the village and get with the stranger, which is weird too, because they're sending a young girl with an old grown man. So that kind of creepy, but that's just me. And so I guess maybe a D is too harsh. I'll give it a C because it did clarify that it did kind of clarify that the stranger is not Sauron, so we got that out of the way. And we did have an appearance of the bald transgender that thought he was Sauron, so they liked it. They liked him.
Yeah, and they got it in the very end, man. They got wiped out. Michael, go ahead.
No, I would honestly, I would give it a C or a C minus. So
okay,
as I said, I get so confused, and it did move slow compared to the one we just were talking about. This moved extremely slow.
I mean, you do not want to watch House of Dragon before you watch Rings of Power. That's for sure.
No.
If you do that, you'll probably turn it off as soon as you start watching Rings of Power. But you've got to take the bad before the good, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lord Michael, but I just thought
no, that's kind of what I was feeling too. So, but I felt like that the whole time. I just felt it move very slow, but hey, everybody has their own taste. So,
I mean, them making the 3 rings and everything, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool, but
what did you think of the song?
I don't even remember the song.
They were the song about what is that? They thought the song about the rings. The girl was singing. I think she's singing at the beginning and during the credits.
Oh yes.
I was going to sing it for you, but I forget. I don't know the words, so I'm not going to sing.
Oh, no, I don't need that.
But the first one is, the first 3 rings for the whatever. But that's how it goes. Then it continues, as you know. But I didn't think it. I would rather have heard Morgan Freeman just narrate it. That's what I'd rather hear. I wouldn't. You can't beat Morgan Freeman. That's it. But they should have. They're paying so much money. I don't know why they couldn't have hired Morgan Freeman just to narrate it. Just use his voice.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yep, just have him do it, and then we're out. It sounds more, more powerful than this little song that they sang.
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool. All right, I like that. That's good to know. All right. Well, look, it was good.
Move on to Andor.
I think so. I think those are just going to be our thoughts for this one. So, all right.
Well, how did this? Okay, this did end with them making the rings, right? And then did they distribute them yet, or are they just? They spent most of the show going back and showing how they were mixing all their elements, putting it in the oven.
I don't think they delivered it. They just showed them, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's right. They don't think they just showed them, so we know. Okay, the first 3 rings are now done. So now we have to move on to the other rings. And I was surprised, that the white man had an idea on how to do that. The elf was kind of surprised. What? You're a white man. How would you know that? We are elves and we have all this knowledge. But yet, because at first he didn't like him holding his gem. He was nervous that whatever his name is.
Celebrimbor?
Yeah, Celebrimbor. He was nervous, what do you do? No, put that down. And then it was okay once he gave the idea, but he was happy to get his jewels back. Not Jules, but Joel. But Joel sounds better. But anyway. I guess that was a surprise, that he was surprised that, he got an idea that he didn't think of, and they actually brought it to the king. And then they, instead of making a crown, they made the rings. So we're all set up with the first 3, right?
Yeah.
And that was about it, wasn't it? Except for them traveling through the woods with Nori and all that kind of stuff.
Which we're avoiding.
And then we saw that Helbrin. So, yeah, he shows up, man. And he is in Mordor. And he liked it. Uh-oh. Is that it?
I think I rambled on further than we had to, but that's just me.
Okay, no, that's cool. You're all right. Okay, we're good. I think that's going to be it for that one. We all have our opinions on it. Actually, we didn't spend very much time on that one, so that's all right. We're going to go ahead and move on. Let me put it in the folder. I have 4 folders for all the programs that we are doing. So let's see. This one is Lord of the Rings. That's the red one. And that one is now in its place.
Well, I'm glad you do homework.
Just don't say that with Michael here. It's embarrassing.
He's probably happy too that you do your homework.
Well, yeah, but should
no, I doubt that. No, don't even want to go there. All right, fair enough. All right, look, let's see. Let's do this. Star Wars Andor. Wow, the eye. We immediately turned into the morning of. Folks, this was a taut, well done episode. I really did enjoy it. There was 2 episodes of setup to get here, and we see their plan. We didn't know the entire plan. We just knew that they had to get in there. There was a ship on rails, and Andor was going to be able to fly it out.
It was so much more complicated than to me that they led on from the setups. I mean, when they started instigating these, I went, huh? I don't remember seeing any planning for this and that. And I don't know, unless I just missed it. I don't know. But
maybe it's one of those off-panel things. I don't know either. I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't see. It is like, wait, where did all these people? What? Okay, I didn't see this plan. They whatever it was, they never let us know that they didn't send us the memo, Michael, is what they did.
Well, they didn't, or did they have to do, or did things not work out like they thought and they did things on the fly? Because that's what I really wasn't sure of. Was it planned to have the guards carry out the gold, if that's what it was, whatever it was, the payroll? Or I missed that. And it was like, was this planned?
All of it was planned. We just didn't know about it. Remember, we were looking at it from Andor's point of view.
I guess,
because,
yeah.
Remember, when the girls separated in the prior episode, they're like, well, where are they going? Don't worry about it. So he didn't know everything.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Neither did we.
Yeah.
No. Well, maybe that was the whole point of it. We didn't expect it, and because we were supposed to say, oh, okay. I still enjoyed it, but so maybe that was the whole point, was like, well, don't tell them everything and then let them be surprised. But if they did do it on the fly, Michael, it was still done very nice, very great, very well.
They still had some issues, but I mean, wow, that was, and not many survived.
No.
You
thought they were going to make it out, but go ahead, Raj.
No, they didn't survive. Right now, Lieutenant Gordon didn't make it. The Stormtrooper didn't make it. And what's his face? I don't know his name. The one that had the manifesto. I was disappointed, but I kind of figured he was going to die. It's just, it was a shame. I don't remember it. Oh, Nimitz, I believe his name is.
Yeah, the one who got injured and was shot up with that thing. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, he actually got crushed by the money.
Yeah.
But didn't they get him to the doctor?
But he said he couldn't do anything.
Oh, so he was actually dead. He died.
Remember, Andor said, how do we get to the doctor? Remember?
Oh, yeah, because...
but to get to the doctor, they would have to go to another universe to get to the doctor.
Well done. Well done.
So, I mean... Anyway.
That was weird.
No, that was very good to get to the doctor. It stays within the universe.
That was one of the Doctor Who's, and it says TARDIS. And
well, yeah, that's why I was going, how did that?
I made that. I mean, I did it real quick. Wow.
Oh, okay. I was going like, where was that?
That was good.
Because that's the other episode.
But see, I'm just trying to make it's like a little whatever joke, maybe a bad one, but I like it.
Yeah, well, it's a different show, so
you did okay. Basically, what we saw is in the morning of, Nimitz is talking about that he couldn't sleep, and Andor says, "Look, the assignment's going to keep you awake." And then he says at the very end, "Look, you'll be fine. You'll sleep when it's done." Oh man, I was even hearing that, I'm like, ah, man, the line, you sleep when you're dead, whatever. But the conversation between Andor and Nimitz, there was a lot to it, where Nimitz says, hey, we're going to teach him a lesson. We're going to show him that there is real stuff, and we're going to really give it to him. And then he says, you know what? You're half right. The Empire doesn't play by the rules. And then you're half wrong. And he gives a whole bunch of reasons. They don't care enough to learn because they don't have to. And you mean nothing to them. That's what the Empire is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, oh, so we should just accept it and accept that we don't have freedom and everything. He says, does it look like I'm accepting it? Do I look thankful? And then he kind of pats him on the butt a little by saying, you'll be fine. You'll sleep when it's done. Yes, Lord Dick.
I just sent me where in the Star Wars timeline is Andor? Is he after
no.
the first 9 episodes or movies
No.
or whatever?
It's 5 years BBY. Everything is like, excuse me for being stupid, folks. The birth of Christ is year 1 allegedly, and then they got it wrong. It's really between year 4 and 7 BC. But just to give an example, what I mean. Oh yeah, we know that they miscounted because of a certain event in the Bible, but that's neither here nor there. The Battle of Yavin, that's like year 1 right there, and everything before the Battle of Yavin, and then you have everything after the Battle of Yavin. So this is 5 years BBY before the Battle of Yavin. So, and everyone knows the Battle of Yavin is where the rebel fleet in A New Hope strikes and destroys the original Death Star. So this is 5 years before.
So, okay.
Or if you go movie-wise, this is before Rogue One.
It's 5 years before Rogue One,
Yeah.
and 5 years and a day before A New Hope.
New Hope.
So, if this series goes long enough, will they have to include this eventually, or will they stop this series before it gets to that point?
Well, it's a good question. I think they're going to stop right before Rogue One, because that's this character. That's who he is.
That's where he was introduced. So
yeah,
and who knows? I mean, they might not go year by year. It may be, they'll pick up a week later in season 2.
Well,
I mean, who knows what
true
they're going to do?
Well, that's a true story, Michael. I keep wanting to call you Mike, but I don't want to offend you.
You'll get
Michael,
you'll get a TARDIS dropped on you.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
He's actually okay with Mike.
Well, some people prefer, like Michael. But anyway.
I just call everyone by their given name. So.
What? Where was I before I got sidetracked?
You had a TARDIS fall on you.
Yeah, that's right. I did have.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to know the timeline, and that's cool. But you're right, Michael. Who knows? It could be a week later because some series do that. They go season 2. It's been a week later because especially in whatever. But you're right. It could be, or it could just be a month or so. But you're right.
Yeah.
Nothing says a season has to be a full year. Is that and so you're right, Michael.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I don't know how many are in Andor, if it's 10 or if it's more. But we've just completed the 6th episode. And as we moved on in the plot, we finally realized what they're doing. They're establishing the communication because it's going to be lights out. They're going to jam the signals. And they're going to make it seem like it's the eye that's actually doing the damage. And, of course, we hear the call signs, Valley 1, Valley 1. And then we hear Echo. Echo is like, oh, like Echo Base. I'm like, okay, nice callback. I get it. So I thought it was good. They're moving in. They're continuing the sprint into the valley. And then he's like, man, this guy loves giving orders, doesn't he? He says, yeah, he was a stormtrooper before. And Clem's like, oh, crap. And then I forget his name. What's his face? Scheme. Scheme says, yeah, you should have been there when Senta found out that he was an ex-stormtrooper. Because the stormtroopers.
Do you want to know how many episodes are in season 1?
How many?
12.
Oh, Okay, we're halfway through.
And
Not
they've
too bad.
already announced how many episodes are in season 2.
How many?
12.
Wow. Well, I guess they can. I mean, sometimes you see a decrease in episodes, but that's usually with the lesser known. Anyway, it depends on popularity how many episodes they get.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised this isn't getting 14. So, well, because I like it well enough where if it did go 14, I wouldn't mind, But
it's rare for some series on the streamers to go that far now. It's just it's a shame.
Usually 10 is the average.
Yeah, there are a few that have done 12 or even 13, but they're just
most are 10 or less.
Well, they might do that for like the first season, and then it just a dramatic drop off in season 2 just to make sure they're making their money. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stop with the I'm sorry stuff. Okay.
Well, I keep interrupting everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're having a conversation. All right. So the Imperial engineer is there, and he's got a camera out from the dam, and he said, "Has it started?" Yeah, and the guests are arriving. So the commandant's a dick, man. He's just a dick. He doesn't think anything of these inhabitants, but it is what it is. The girls are over in that little rock outcropping on the other side of the lake or the whatever, and they're about to start moving, and then they're caught by a patrol, and the girls get super offended because the Imperials are taking a leak right outside, and they were making faces. I don't know to what extent they were making their faces. It could have been one of two ways, but they did not like the fact that the Imperials were out there taking a leak. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. And then we see our 4 boys. They join the march, and the commandant is then talking to his wife, Viboda, and the son. Hey, why isn't he wearing his stuff? And he says, I don't feel well. Okay, you don't feel well? You might feel the back of my hand. And the mom says, hey, calm down. She says, hey, he's had every privilege. Look, this engineer is going to be making all the decisions. You want off this damn rock? We got to impress this engineer. You really want off this rock? That's what we have to do because he's making the decisions. Lieutenant Gorn is on the outside, receives the inhabitants, and they arrive at the temple. Gorn calls on the commandant to visit the inhabitants, and then Echo and Belly are on point. They say, let's go. And at your service, they say. So inside, after the commandant talks to them, and it's funny because the inhabitants understand Basic, which is what the language is called in the Imperial or in Star Wars. Is it standard? No, I don't remember if it's Basic or Standard, because in Star Trek it's Standard. English is known as Standard, so I believe it's Basic in Star Wars. So whatever. And the inhabitant basically tells them, our ghosts and our spirits and everything, they're going to take revenge on you. And then Gorn says, they're happy. Let's go. Because the inhabitant even looks at them. They know Basic. So they're like, okay, whatever. They get to go. And they take them on up. The 4 guards are going with them. And as soon as they go in, they draw their weapons. And they've got hostages. And the engineer pulls a gun. He's going to kill Nemec. But then Senta comes in through the side and takes out the engineer. And the engineer fired and missed Nemec. It was that close. So they're on their way to the payroll vault, and the jammer is on. No transmissions. They take control of the control station while the inhabitants are celebrating. Senta then stays behind, and Val is like, "Are you going to be okay?" And she says, "Yes." So I guess we learn that Senta's probably going to sacrifice herself, or she's got her own escape plan. But it is what it is. They take the vault. They say, let's go, but traffic control hears the transmission between them. And they make it to the landing shuttle, and then Elkenzi Air Command deploys fighters because they cannot get a response. There's an alert that the security on the credits has been violated. Like, come on, answer, we've got a report. And no one answers, so they send 3 TIE fighters. Not surprised. I always thought they deployed in groups of 2. character should have been 4, but whatever. The people that were there realize what's going on, and we have a big old firefight. And just before the firefight, the commandant has a heart attack, and the Lieutenant Gordon is shot. The Andor, what? Oh yeah, Andor fights the Imperial Stormtrooper on the bridge, and shoots him dead. Oh no, I'm sorry. Andor fights the Imperial Stormtrooper. I know Andor eventually wins. Val gets away. We have launch. I don't remember the name of the guy who was a former stormtrooper. He was shot there as well as Gorn. But they make their launch. Nemix is crushed. He can't feel his legs. She gives him a med spike, and he's still able to use the hyperspace navigator. And they make their getaway. And then we see Senta. She's able to just walk right on out in an Imperial uniform. Scheme says the only reason why we're here is because of that kid. That's why we're here. We should try to save him. And Andor's like, yes, of course. Or Cassian is like, come on, we got to do it. And then we see the doctor fails at saving him. But Scheme tells Andor, hey, how much do you think is in there? So, I don't know. What do you think? He said, I don't care. He says, yeah, there's about 80 million in there. You know, we could split it, 40 million each. Oh, yeah? And Andor genuinely gets mad. He says, really? Really? He says, yeah, 40 million. I could forget about you. And he says, what about your brother? I don't have a brother. And Clem just kills him right then and there because he effing used him. And then Val walks in. He's got a gun. Where's Scheme? He says, he's dead. He says, oh, so this is how it is. No. I only want my cut. That's it. That's all I want is my cut. And then, of course, Val says, well, here, you need to take this. What's that? Nemex's manifesto. I don't want it. He wanted you to have it. He implored you to have it. So after that, we switch the Internal Security Bureau. Everyone, all hands on deck. Says, we got to have a plan. By midnight, all your reports are in. And then Mon Mothma is delivering a speech on some planet that's being retaliated against. And then she notices people aren't paying attention. They're all looking down at their pads. I remember in State or Enemy of the... No, was it? I forget this movie. When there was a bombing, everyone's pagers started going off. And that's how I equated that. And then she even checks her own. And she sees the report. And then Luthen is in his store, and someone says, hey, so do you have anything from Aldhani? He's like, oh, shit. Are they on to me? And he's like, yeah, something with the rebel heist. He said, oh, well, I may have something in the bag. I was only kidding. To think that you would really have something from there? And then Luthen goes to the back room, and he realizes they got away with it. It's in the news. Everyone's talking about it. And he just starts to laugh with joy. And that's how the episode ended. I rated this episode an A. It was a typical thriller on a bank vault. We knew what was going to happen. But this is the first real black eye to the Empire. And everyone in the galaxy is talking about it. It's huge. 80 million credits, maybe, or even more. What a job. Wow. Andor was pissed when Scheme told him, I don't have a brother. He's like, you effing lied to me. You stupid, silly son. And he actually was so angry because he was willing to betray the others for money. And he just got fed up with him and shot him. I thought that was one of the big moments in the entire story. You guys tell me. What were your thoughts? I gave it an A. Lord Dick?
Okay. Yeah. B plus A. It ain't because it pulled off like the bank robbery. You didn't even actually, it was a good episode. I mean, it's one of the better bank robberies or whatever you want to call it that I've seen in a while. And they got away with it. and the guy at the end was laughing, which I think is the Roger character you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, folks, I told my friends here, my compatriots, there is a Roger character that when I saw this episode, a particular episode, I was like, oh my God, that's Roger right there. Michael, do you, okay, Luthen, thank you. No, that guy has balls. No, that guy, I am a rebel and I do things, but no, I'm not losing. I'm humbled. Thank you. No. Michael, who is the character that I saw myself as?
Oh, I don't know, Roger.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Okay.
I try not to figure these things out.
Okay. I think it was episode was it the Axe Forgets? Let me see. Okay, folks,
Are you the character that was went to his mother and she chastised him?
I'm not that much of a pussy, but anyway.
What I don't understand though, Raj, if you're not going to be that character, this doesn't have Jar Jar Binks. I don't understand what you're, Jar Jar's not in this one. So
I love you too. No, the character that I am is where that other FSB security guy goes to the planet where the corporate security was in place, and he's talking to this one guy. Will this work? And the captain says, what? Will what work? Will this hotel work as your headquarters? Oh, yeah, we're getting people out right now. Says, okay, well, all right. Make it happen. Get it done. Says, Lieutenant, one thing. Lieutenant, it doesn't mean any more money. It doesn't mean a higher promotion. But can I have the title of prefix, sir? Can I have the title? As long as you get this done by the time I get, back or whatever, that's fine, Captain. You can call yourself whatever the hell you want. When I saw that captain, I'm like, holy crap, that's the Roger character. I'm the guy at the bottom end that I don't care about titles. I don't care about positions. I'm just, hey, can I be called this?
If you want to say that, that's cool. But I guess since it was such just a scene, it's a scene and it's done and nothing else. But anyway, I know what you're talking about.
So. Yeah, that guy. He was just a lowly captain, and he was kicking people out of the hotel. He says, hey, can I have the title of prefect? What a jackass. I'm like, that's the Roger character. So, what are some of your thoughts on this episode, gentlemen?
Go ahead, Michael.
I kind of said what I was already going to say. I mean, it's the ending was just crazy, and I said I didn't see a lot of it coming because we weren't told what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was, going, okay, what's going to happen next? Why are they going down here? Ooh, look what happened. Now they got all these extra people that they have at gunpoint. And, like, what are they going to do with them? Oh, they're going to put them to work. Okay.
Yeah. I did appreciate the episode. I did enjoy it. I mean, it's not an A+ because we've seen things similar, but the imagery was excellent. Seeing what the eye was cool at the very end, but there were all these overtones where they were talking amongst themselves, where the commandant said, do these idiots know that this, or someone asked the commandant or the colonel or the Lieutenant Gorn, do they know that this is the last one that they're going to see? No, they don't. They're not going to be allowed here because they have a massive project that is going to be started there. What is that massive project? I think they're already building it, but there's an implication that
there might be some key components there.
Yeah, something related to the Death Star. I don't know. So it'd be interesting because that's where Andor was, because he's all around the Death Star, but that's neither here nor there.
And he didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. I thought some of the most important conversation was between Nemec and him at the very beginning. And Andor, yeah, he's a lone wolf, but even in his own mind, he has standards. He has rules. and at the very end, Val thinks that she's going to die. He's going to kill her.
He just
says,
wanted his cut.
Yeah. And I think it was like, well, I don't know. It was 200,000, 400,000. And then he says, return this to him. All I want is my cut.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow.
And she looks stunned.
Yeah, very stunned. He says, it's more than that for me. So.
Well, what I liked was that we didn't spend half the episode on the council chambers like we did in the movie. So I'm glad we were. When I saw that, oh my God, don't tell me we're going to sit here for a half hour seeing going through all this protocol stuff. But they got out pretty quick, and it did add to the story. But they didn't have to spend because the movie seemed like it went on forever. But they got those council chambers and were trying to teaching us economics. But this went by pretty fast. So, and I'm surprised they were. That must have cost a little bit of money to bring that back too. That's a lot of CGI.
Oh yeah,
they might have still had a lot of the files, so might not have been as much as it could have been.
You're right. They could have. Yeah, you're right. They probably just rehashed it or refurbished it. They just brought it back in, probably
changed it, different angles.
Yeah, depthed it up a little bit, and all the actors had to do was stand on this X and say your lines. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, maybe they did. Cause it looked exactly the same as from the movie.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're probably right there. They probably didn't do it from scratch. They just what's that? You're right, Michael. I didn't even think about that.
Well, just as an aside, I was reading something that who knows if it will happen, but I was reading that they are trying to bring back or something. Now, why can't I remember the name of the show? It's like it's gone.
Are you talking about the cartoon program?
No. Different franchise.
Oh.
Stargate? Well, there's so many.
I know. That's the bad thing. Babylon 5.
Oh, yeah. I heard
Michael J. Stratos, whatever. I can't even say his name. But he was asking some of the original animators if they still had their original files.
Oh, some of that stuff was lost?
They didn't have it. Some of the animators may have had a copy, and he was asking them if they had copies of it, probably for this same reason, to try to repurpose it so they didn't have to start from scratch.
Oh, did they have it?
I'd never read, the resolution, but I did read that he asked. But
well, usually they save stuff like that in a file or even on an extra drive.
Some of the stuff, but here,
I'm just saying it's a sample of their work, especially back then.
Well,
this stuff was pretty new. I mean,
it was.
I'm not saying that they do, but
I know it was very new.
But I save everything that I do.
Yeah. Well, and they probably did, and I mean, it was new, and there weren't many people back then doing it. They were still doing miniatures, really, but Babylon 5 did total CGI.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you're right. I didn't know if they use models or not. I mean, they do, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But what the word I was looking for was stock footage. That's what I was looking for with the chamber stuff. I don't know if they probably call it files now, but it could
have been stock footage. But if they'd wanted to change it a lot, it would have been easier for them just to redo it again.
Yeah, because they would have saved that. They would have saved that stuff in layers, and they could have just played with it. But yeah, you're right. But I would. Well, I hope that he can find that footage so he doesn't start from scratch, because that'll add to the budget. Well, is it just a rumor right now for that, or is that just? I have
heard there's going to be reboots or a couple of times, so I don't know.
Everything. But we've heard everything. I mean, Stargate, everything's getting there's a reboot for everything. I'm thinking, come on, it's hard for them to get an original idea, and even when they reboot, they ruin it. They don't know what So I haven't watched it yet, but I heard that, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that Quantum Leap is not all that good. But I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I cannot make a judgment call. I mean, I was planning on watching it, but what I did do, real quick here, is I watched the Winchesters, and I was not. I mean, I watched the first 5 or 6 minutes, and I turned it off because I just, oh my god, well, I don't like the actors playing his
Well, that doesn't
parents.
help.
His parents. I like the ones from the original series. I think those.
But they're too old.
Yeah, I know. But back in the day, see, she was pretty hot. But anyway, I digress. So, but
you should not digress, young man.
yeah, well, I do sometimes. Well, it's better than never mind. Yeah, we were on with Michael here, with his opinion on the show. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I mean, it was real. I enjoyed it. I would give it a B. That's my first thought. I'd give it a B. Some of the other ones were a little bit less, but I mean, this was the best episode that I've seen in the show so far, to me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, for Andor, yeah.
That's surprising, since you were caught off guard and we weren't told what was going to happen. I thought that might lower the grade a little bit for you.
No, because it's like it's nice to be surprised.
Okay, well then
it's nice to be surprised.
Well, I can see that, because I mean, I like the surprise too, but I wasn't sure where you were leaning. But now that I do, that's cool. Yeah, because you don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to know everything, because then you'll look for it. But anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm hoping that, I honestly thought that it was only going to be maybe two more episodes. I didn't know it was going for 12. So that surprises me. But are they splitting it?
No. As far as I know, it's going to run through.
Does HBO Max do that?
No, but this one's Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's Disney, right. Whatever. There's so many streamers that I have to keep track of too. It's like, okay, what streamer is this guy on? But does Disney Plus do that? Have they done that before? Split it?
Not that I know of.
Well, I hope they don't, because I hate that ploy. I mean, It's like, let's just drop them and get it over with. I mean,
well, as a matter of fact, Star Trek Lower Decks is probably going to run one episode with Star Trek Prodigy. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that Star Trek Prodigy 1 year ago. I thought the season was done.
No, I had read that
part
it was the
2
second
of season 1.
Of season 1. Yeah, I had read that.
On October 27th. So they split Prodigy. And I guess that had to do with...
I don't think it was finished. Oh. I don't think they had finished it yet. And I think that was why.
Well...
Or...
It was COVID.
Well, COVID, well, not as much. Well, yes, but I'm thinking, since there have been hints of another Star Trek series with Kate.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they delayed it until they made a decision.
So that's actually happening?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean?
A lot of people talking about it.
Well, I've been following this from the rumor stage, and I didn't know if they. I kept thinking, I don't know. Because I knew that she would do it. At first, she said no, and then she changed her mind.
Well, she wasn't going to do Prodigy either. She did not want to do Prodigy. Yeah, exactly.
There were two things: the storyline got her, and what she was going to be doing. And the money. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
told her, you could do this at home.
Well, yeah. The audio one, yeah.
Easy money.
I think she's ready to come back to Voyager. Yeah.
So, what is this Voyager thing supposed to be? I can't call it Voyager anymore. I mean, they're home.
I think they are going to call it. Well, very good. Haha. Yeah. I think they're still going to
might be the same ship. I mean, who knows? Or she might get a new one.
Or maybe it's going to be called Janeway. Star Trek Janeway.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that could be too, I guess. Then, I hope that Capote is still there.
Actually.
Well, didn't he
alive.
Disappear? Well, didn't he disappear? Wasn't he supposed to be on the Prodigy?
Yes, that's the thing. So we maybe they're going to run concurrent. I don't know. Who knows? That would be
or this second part might be, I know there's going to be some big things going to happen to all the ships in the fleet.
Chakotay was the captain of the Prodigy.
Prodigy, and then he's gone. What happened to him?
So we'll see.
Well, I haven't seen this Prodigy, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to watch that at some point to see, so I can keep track of all this Star Trek crap.
Prodigy returns October 27th.
Yeah.
So you got 2 weeks.
Well, so is that going to be a separate show?
Prodigy is a separate show. Yeah.
No.
Now, are we going to follow it? I believe I will be following it. Yes.
So I mean, you've talked about this before, and you've talked about at the beginning. You talked about your daughter joining you.
I was hoping, but she doesn't want to join the Billingsley interview. I'm like,
She doesn't want to do that one either?
No, doesn't want to do it. I guess she's Rex from Toy Story 2.
Well, we have our other friend that wants to join us for the Billingsley interview.
And you're joining us.
Yeah. I'll be there tomorrow night too to see the voice actor
who was with us earlier today.
Yeah, I know, but
that's so funny. That is so funny.
I know, but tomorrow night he's going to be the voice actor. He's not going to be
He's not going to be the House of Dragon.
Aficionado. Yeah, he's going to. Right. He's going to be the voice actor, unless we get sidetracked, as we sometimes do.
Well, we usually do. So.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of that somewhere, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because we can't combine it with this one, or we'd be here till 6 in the morning.
No, we can't.
My time.
Lower Decks is ending either 9 or 10 episodes this year.
I think it's 10.
That means there's going to be Lower Decks and Prodigy
at the same time.
Yeah.
So we may do a Thursday episode for that one.
But isn't there? But we're almost done with.
With Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And what about Rings of Power?
As a matter of fact, we'll be done. Well, Rings of Power, we're done now.
Yeah, we're done.
Power's done.
That's right. So I forgot about. I guess I was trying to play it safe because I wasn't sure. But that's one less show. So, whoo.
Yeah,
God.
Okay, Lower Decks is 10 episodes.
Okay, so they're going to cross over one episode. On the 27th is when Prodigy debuts, and that'll be the season finale for Lower Decks.
Yes.
And then if we continue on course, folks, Game of Thrones ends next week on the 23rd. So that will be probably our last Sunday night episode for a while. So
we're not going to finish up Andor?
Oh, we're going to
probably not on Sunday.
We may be moving to Thursday night.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can do the Star Trek and Andor.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm open to any other episode.
Well, I'm just saying, series. We're going to have Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas doing battle on that night since we have Star. Never mind, doesn't matter. Okay,
I get it.
Anyway, that sounds good to me.
Oh, this is interesting,
Lord Michael.
I just see how many episodes there are in season 1 of Prodigy.
How many?
20. So we had 10 episodes.
Did we
have another
10
episodes?
Did we have 10?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So then if we follow that, just looking at the calendar, that's 27 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means it ends on December 29th. So if we look, guys and girls, December 29th, that's going to be the last one. That means Picard debuts on February 16th.
I thought that was done.
No, final season of Picard.
Oh, okay.
So that means we have 1.
Oh, that's right. I saw he's getting at
5.
He's getting his starship back.
6 weeks
of freedom
of no Star Trek.
So we don't
unless
have to
there's
run a
something that's going to be debuting there.
show.
Are they going to split Discovery?
Well, no, I heard that's not going to be till 2023.
What?
Yeah,
That's not that far away anyway.
I know, but that's what I heard.
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm talking January. January.
Yeah, but I mean, well, yeah, but yeah.
Okay, look.
late 2023.
Yeah, okay. And Strange New Worlds also probably.
Yeah.
Unless they have some special that's going to be done. But they have 6 open weeks until February 16th. So I'm okay. That'll be all right. That's the start of tax season. So, okay. All right, folks. Well, we've completed 2 hours on this. We have one more series to do. So we are talking about what we're going to do. We're probably going to be switching to a Thursday night. And that way we'll get Andor and Star Trek Lower Decks and eventually Prodigy. And we'll see what we're going to do. If you have any suggestions on any series that we should follow, I would like to do a weekly episode of something. So that may move around the calendar. We'll see.
Depending on if we have other guests that can only come on a Thursday.
Yes. But we are opening up Thursday nights for guests. So we'll see. We'll see what we'll be able to do. But all right. How you gentlemen feeling? You guys tired? You done? Because we can do Lower Decks another day. We can combine it with another one.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? I don't know.
Okay. Sorry.
That will give me time to watch it too.
Yeah.
And then you can look at Prodigy.
We would. Yeah, you could. Yeah. You know, Lord Dick, let me tell you, both Michael, Gmo, and our jaws did drop. And I just saw this in the dream. I didn't realize I had deja vu just right now. Our jaws dropped. Was it on episode 10, Michael, or was it episode 5 on that first half? It's like the episode was there happening, and the last damn minute of the episode, all of us were like, holy splinkers or whatever. It was, wow. It was, yeah, you remember what I'm talking about, Michael. I remember Michael called me, Gmo, and I were like, wow, this was awesome. It was really cool. I'm going to check it out. Just watch Prodigy.
It took me a few episodes to get into it because it is so different.
It is directed at kids, dude. And it's going to be frustrating
directed at kids.
Being a hardcore Star Trek maven, it's like, okay, well, you're trying to get kids involved, so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and because they go a lot of explaining, you know, and it's geared for kids, but it's on the Cartoon Network. Yeah. So, you know, that's where it was made for. So,
but my 25-year-old is watching it, and you have Michael, you have me, and you have a lot of other people. So it looks like it's working. And having Janeway there, it's an awesome connection, dude. It really is cool because it is her, and it is neat. I don't want to reveal how she's there, but it's good. But everyone already knows that. So,
yeah, well, he might not. So,
no, right. I don't.
That's why.
I'm
so
completely
but she's there.
But she's there.
We're going to review Crisis Point 2 sometime next week, along with another episode of Lower Decks, because we've already lost Ring of Power, so maybe we'll get it next Sunday as well. But beyond that, folks, we're good. We want to thank everyone that's joined us. We're going to finish this episode now at this point. Want to thank everyone that spent time with us for Game of Thrones, Rings of Power, and for Andor. And we will get Star Trek Lower Decks next week as well. So, absolutely awesome. Tomorrow is the real tax deadline for me, October 17th. So I'm going to be doing taxes all day, do an interview, and then finish the day doing it. So I'm really
and do an interview with Jesse. So we get to
that's what I meant by the interview. So
I figured that's what you meant.
So it's all good, folks. Want to thank everyone for joining us. Jesse, thank you. I know you're probably asleep already. Smart.
He probably is, yeah.
Because he's on the East Coast, just like you, Michael.
I know, but he had to get up for something going on. So,
who won the Sunday night game, Lord Dick?
Eagles.
Yeah. Okay. Not that I care, but I chose the Eagles. So, all right.
Well, then you do care. Don't say you don't care. If you picked them to win, then you kind of do. Yeah, but those afternoon games were kind of. I kind of split on that kind of.
Ooh, anyway. I don't even want to look. I don't think I did very well.
Oh my God! I thought I was doing. I don't know. Anyway, this isn't the sports show. So, but anyway.
Yeah. We're good, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Michael's there. Yeah, this isn't the sports show.
No, it says Rings of Power behind you, so it's not the sports show.
Doesn't say rings of NFL.
No,
I like
No.
that though.
not the Super Bowl rings or anything like that. No.
Oh, those would be power rings for sure.
Yeah, or the Olympics. So go figure. All
Oh,
right,
yeah,
folks.
those.
We appreciate you spending time with us. We appreciate the likes, the follows, and all that stuff. We really need them. We are eternally grateful. And I know it's at the very end. I don't like doing this, but I do have it. It's not for me. It's for everyone here. But if you guys want to support the network, it's not even on this one. I don't have it here. But we do have a Patreon account, but that's okay. We're not gonna we're not gonna have. I don't have it right here, so I'll set it up for next time. But we're good, folks. I want to thank everyone that joined us. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the other side. And apropos, hey, just remember the swords in the throne stab, and those rings are made with gold and silver as well as mithril, and you never stab your compatriots in the back when you're on a bank vault run. Otherwise, Andor's going to have your ass. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!
Good day.